Hey there, James Taylor, keynote speaker on creativity, innovation, and future trends. Today I'm in Barcelona in Spain. I've just been giving a keynote here at this hotel over here over my shoulder. It's called the Arts Hotel, very famous hotel. I've spoken at this hotel before for EY, Ernst & Young, a little while ago. The event I was speaking for yesterday was for a company called Network International. They're the biggest payments company in the Middle East, the MENA region, North Africa. I've actually spoken for them before in Casablanca. I'll put a link to that one. And so they brought me in here to talk about three things as it relates to innovation. The first was artificial intelligence, specifically around how artificial intelligence and generative AI will change the work of many of their clients, change the businesses of many of their clients. So they have their clients here, top clients here from worlds of hotels, food and beverage. We had clients here from retail. We had government clients here as well. And I kind of spoke about how generative AI is going to change so many different things and how it provides us a great tool for innovation and creativity. Second thing I spoke about was the Metaverse. Now, the Metaverse is a term that's kind of gone a little bit quiet. We call it currently is what we call the trough of disillusionment phase. People are speaking about it a little bit less. It was hyped to oblivion last year and the year before. But what's good now is it's kind of gone a little bit quiet because what they're finding is the product market fit, as we call it in tech. So they're getting that stage where what are people actually wanting to spend their time in the Metaverse doing? What kind of experience do they want? How can we make money from this area as well? And it's going through a really interesting stage. And Meta, who really kind of criticized initially for their version of the Metaverse, they're really starting to make some pretty great strides. And there's lots of other companies doing incredible stuff in the Metaverse as well. And then the third area that I was speaking about was digital twins. So digital twins is the idea that every individual, every building, every business, every organization, every facility will have a digital version of itself on a server somewhere in the world. And it allows you to prototype and run tests on the digital version first before you ever do it in the real world. So let me give you a very simple example. If I go and buy an apartment now in places like Dubai, I can also get the digital twin version of that. And I can say to, let's say, an interior designer, okay, design me an interior layout for my new apartment. And they design it, first of all, in the digital twin version. And I get to see it in my version of my digital version, my replica of that apartment first, see if I like it, and then decide whether I want it in my real world building apartment. I can also have it if it's like an air conditioning company. Okay, go and test it, see what kind of savings I can make first in the digital twin before I ever use it into the real world building. So we're seeing it's got used a lot in industry already. So for example, if you find a plane, if it has a Rolls-Royce engine on that plane, there is a digital twin of that plane on the ground in a server where they're running experiments, improving, making that engine more efficient all the time. So now we're seeing this everywhere. And each of us will have our own kind of like supercharged version of Alexa, our own kind of digital version. So those were the things that I was speaking about. But I guess the big area that I was talking about, and the thing I always like in a keynote to relate it to the place in which I'm speaking. So I was talking quite a lot about Pablo Picasso because he used to live here. This is Barcelona is kind of associated with him as well. And I'll put the exact quote here, but he said words along the lines of, in order to create, we must destroy. We must destroy those things that maybe we've held sacred to ourselves and to our businesses first, in order that we can create new life. Sometimes this is referred to as creative destruction in business terms or in economic terms. So if we think about that for our own businesses, if I speak to like a financial services company, one of the things that they have to start looking at really destroying is the old, outdated tech stack, because it just doesn't work anymore for a mobile first, connected world. So they have to kind of destroy first before they can create something new and give that space to create something new. If I think about my own work as a professional keynote speaker, you kind of get into a grind sometimes of just kind of setting up your keynotes in a similar kind of way in terms of the style of presentation, but people's habits change. So today, for example, I find that people want you to move your slides, if you're using slides, at a much quicker pace, because we're a TikTok generation now. And so I use a lot of video. I mean, I was already a very kind of visual style presenter anyway in my slides and what I put up there. I was already using a lot of video, but that's accelerated even more. And what I find now is if I'm speaking alongside another speaker, keynote professional speaker or amateur speaker, and they're kind of still doing it in the way that they would do it in 2019, it just doesn't work for them as well, because times have moved on. We have to destroy the old before we can create the new. So that's what I've been talking about. So think about in your own life, in your own business, what are those things that are just kind of just holding you back? They're acting as a choke point on your business, on your personal development as well. What are those things that you have to destroy? I was always told once that every year you should destroy and get rid of one belief that you held as self-evident before, because we need to get rid of old beliefs in order to sometimes create new ones and new ways of looking at the world. So from here in beautiful Barcelona, my name is James Taylor, keynote speaker on creativity, innovation, and future trends. Thanks for watching.